All right. So to that point, what's one thing that you would recommend to new managers do as it relates to trying to figure out what they need to change about relationships they had with their former team members?
Gosh, that's a really good question. So just to make sure I'm taking that in appropriately. So you're asking what is it that they're going to have to potentially change about their own behaviors given the past relationships?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Uh, I feel like a bit of a broken record here, but I just think it's gaining that awareness, right? Because it's very possible in your new role, maybe you're 6 months in, maybe you're a year in. Some people might not even be aware that they're still doing certain things because that's just how they've always done it prior. And they've
Mhm.
just not had anybody give them that feedback. So, one of the things I would tell someone in this moment is seek feedback, even if it hasn't been given to you.
Mm.
Right? Whether that's from executive management, whether that's from somebody on the team, maybe it's a peer cross
Right.
functionally,
Right.
right? Because the problem is, and you hear this all the time, leadership is a lonely role. It's like Leadership Island, right? There
Is that a
are,
show?
but on Leadership Island, there's this idea of just because you're in management now, or maybe executive management, information's not just going to be pouring into you all over the place.
Right.
Yes, that can happen. But I think more often than not, you actually have to go seek it, and you have to seek it through multiple channels. Because, as the story goes, there's your version of the truth, there's my version of the truth, and then there's this little thing called in the middle,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So
What's really
if you're
going on? Right.
right, so if you're building all of your information or your awareness through one lens, you may risk getting it wrong. But the assumption there leading up to that is that you've actually gone out and sought the information to begin with, rather than just sitting waiting for it come to you. So I think that's probably one of the most powerful things someone who's relatively new in their leadership role, and we'll
Right.
call it under a year, is to constantly be in a mode of seeking information, whether that's about them, their team, the department, the way that their team is then kind of fluxing into the company and the company's missions.
Right.
Constantly have to be aware of just, are you operating well as a team? How are your people performing? How do they look at you, right? And you don't want to come off as I hate to use this kind of colloquial term, but it's like a thirsty boyfriend, right? Have you ever heard that?
Well,
It's like,
well, no, okay, I'm not even going to go there. I have not heard that term. No.
so, it's this idea that it's like, oh, will you please go on a date with me? Or, it's like, you're almost like begging, and in a
Right.
way,
Right.
it really is not beneficial for you long term in that
No.
relationship. But it's the same thing from a management perspective, right? So you have to, in terms of gaining awareness and gaining information, you have to do it in a way that shows that it's a positive thing, not that your confidence is completely shot
Right.
and
Yes.
you have no ability to do the job without your past employees telling you what to do,
Right.
because that's dangerous.